Hello and welcome back to my local woodland, which we haven't visited for some time, and we're getting some peak colour now, which is absolutely fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if I can capture some landscape photos today. And I've got a few things I really want to talk about today, mainly camera related, but I think this video is going to be more of a chatty one. I haven't done one of these for a while, so it'd be nice just to keep it pretty relaxed and see if we can come up with some photos in this amazing little woodland that we've got here. And also I've got a few photographs that I'd like to share with you today throughout the video from some recent trips. So I've been doing quite a lot of photography workshops recently, and also I did a trip to North Wales as well. And actually there's some lovely colour in this woodland just here. So I'm going to scout this little area here and see if we can find maybe an image or two. Yes, it's absolutely beautiful. And it's really blustery today, yet in this little valley here there's not a breath of wind, which is pretty cool. So I'm actually surprised at the colour here. It's very vibrant. Only a few days ago I was at a woodland which was more inland and there was hardly a yellow or orange leaf to be seen. Actually that video I think will be going out next week, so you'll be able to compare the difference. This woodland is a lot nearer the coast, on the south coast, and it's obviously a big difference. It's quite interesting. As mentioned, we'll be talking about a couple of camera features that I guess are quite controversial, or they definitely divide opinion anyway. I just thought I'd give my opinions on those as well a little bit later in the video, like I mentioned. But I just want to talk about the last two photographs that I showed just then of that wonderful harbour. Now that harbour is called Porthgain. It's an incredible location. It's actually a location that I visited very, very recently, just a few days ago, when I was doing my 3-day Pembrokeshire workshop, which went absolutely brilliantly. It was fantastic. Now, I'm trying to include more man-made subjects, if you will, in my landscape photography. Something I've been really enjoying recently, and it's something I've shied away from for many, many years, just really sticking to natural nature, if you will. But I'm really trying to incorporate more of a narrative and more of a story into my photographs, and shooting man-made stuff really does help with that. So I've been thoroughly enjoying that. So I've got to take the jacket off. It's pretty hot. 16 degrees when I left, which is pretty crazy since it's the end of October. But I think I might have found my first subject, or at least a scene that I want to explore anyway. Let me spin you around. We're very, very wide on the back of the action camera here, but this little area just here looks quite interesting. It looks like there's a fir or conifer in there amongst all of these oak trees. So I'm thinking that maybe I'm going to focus on this area here, maybe shoot it wide and then maybe zone in just on that tiny little area there. Maybe see if I can work with two frames, two different options. yeah, some lovely colour in these overhanging oak trees and some nice mossy branches. It's just about positioning everything right within the frame, I think. So yeah, I think I might try and make a shot here. So we're all set up, camera is on the tripod, 16 to 55 lenses on, and the circular polarizer just to help take some of the shine off the leaves. It's quite glary back there. There's quite a bit of distance between these main trees and the ones at the back there, so it's looking across the valley, which gives us separation, and I think that's quite important when you don't have any mist or fog in the woodland and you want to try to incorporate a lot of trees within the shot, because it can get quite messy. So having that distance between the ones in your foreground and the ones in the background can really help. Obviously not showing any sky in this shot as well, because that will make exposing for the darker parts of the image quite challenging. So f11 at 1/3 of a second at the minute gives me a nice even exposure on the histogram. So I'm really hoping, yeah, this shot translates. It's kind of the midsection through this area of woodland. I want to get on to the first thing that kind of bugs me a bit about cameras these days, and that is the LCD screen. Now, you know, this is widely talked about. A lot of photographers really like the 3-way articulating screens, and I'm definitely on that side of the fence when it comes to photography. Having this screen that sticks out on the left-hand side and it's flapping about, it just looks unsightly, I think, and it detracts from the user experience when you're taking a photo. I much prefer to have it down there on the camera. However, for the type of work that I do, I find myself doing a lot of videography as well, obviously creating these videos, and it's so nice to be able to flip that screen around when I'm videoing myself and be able to see my composition. But yeah, like I think I mentioned this in the video that I did a few weeks ago about the X-T3. I absolutely love shooting with that camera. The experience is fantastic, and it's a photography first camera. Had I not been doing videography as well, I would have definitely gone for a camera, probably the X-T5 with that tilting screen. Yeah, so yeah, just thought I'd talk about that. I do have a couple of other things I want to talk about, but please let me know what you think about flippy or articulating screens. Let me know which side of the fence you sit on. I know it's a widely discussed topic, and I just wish there was a better solution for people that kind of do vlogging that don't want to have a thing sticking out on the side. Let me know if you know of anything that might help me in my quest to get rid of a flippy screen. So we're not too much further down the trail from that last photo, and I've framed another shot up here. A little bit of an experimental one, a bit of a juxtaposition, if you will. Got a very straight tree trunk on the right hand side, and on the left there's a very curvy pattern, if you will, almost like an oval shape. Beyond that oval shape there's a lot of vibrant hues. We've got some very bright yellow colours of some birch trees down at the bottom, and then a very deep red russet colour of the oak trees on the opposite bank. So I think it works quite well. There's lots of different colours going on, lots of shapes and patterns, and yeah, zoomed right into 55mm on the 16 to 55. I'm not using the polarizer this time. I don't feel I need to reduce any reflections in any of the foliage. Sometimes when you're in the woodland, if you don't use a polarizer, it can accentuate the haze, especially when you don't have it. So it can accentuate atmosphere sometimes, especially when you've got that distance between your main subject and the background like we had earlier. So yeah, not really any need for the polarizer here. Just letting those colours and that vibrancy, yeah, bring the image to life. Hopefully it's an okay-ish image. I think I've got everything configured how I want it. So while we're on the topic of LCD screens, do you use the touchscreen features on your LCD? Because I know I turn mine off from the minute I get a new camera. I really struggle with it. I much prefer to use the dedicated function buttons to get to things I need to get to quickly. Typically with the LCD touchscreen, I'm always pressing things when I don't intend to, and it just really annoys me, especially if you've got a massive nose like I've got. I'm always pressing my nose against the LCD screen. I know you can disable parts of the screen so your nose doesn't get in the way, but yeah, you know, I find it really annoying. I find it detracts from the user experience. I much prefer a dedicated button to get to the functions that I need to get to. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the function button, not so much of the touch screen. And I've never had that much success either with touch to focus or touch to shoot. I much prefer doing it manually. Maybe that's me, maybe I'm just a bit too old school for all this new tech. I'm 50 next year, can you believe it? Anyway, I'll put the image up from this particular location and then I'm gonna head around there because it looks really vibrant and see if we can pick out a few subjects around there. I'm really enjoying myself this afternoon, really relaxed, just taking my time, really enjoying the whole experience. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So I haven't been up this top area before and there's not really anything that's caught my eye, so I'm wandering back down now. But yeah, I've been thinking, you know, over the last few weeks that I'd like to get a more compact camera, something that I can put in my pocket and take everywhere so I don't need to take a bag with me. Now, like I mentioned before, I turn 50 next year and I'm kind of thinking ahead a little bit. I regard myself as fairly fit for my age, I think, but I want to stay that way. So I want to look after myself as I progress over the next few years. I don't want to injure my back or anything like that. So I do want to reduce the weight in my bag. Something I'm always thinking about. The less weight I have in my bag, the more I enjoy the day. And that is the most important thing. So I think I'm looking for something that I can pocket and take everywhere with me. So say if I'm on a scouting mission and the conditions are amazing, I've still got that option of capturing, you know, an image that I'll be happy with, something that I can print, you know. So I've been looking at a few cameras. I've been looking at the Fuji X100VI, which looks fantastic, but it is obviously a fixed lens camera, so I don't know whether that's really going to suit me. But I think I might hire one for a few days and just see what it's like, give it a go, because I've always wanted to have a go with one of those cameras anyway. They look absolutely amazing, don't they? And I know Fuji have brought out the, is it the XM5, which looks quite interesting. That's an interchangeable lens camera, but it doesn't have a viewfinder, and I think I'd really want a viewfinder. So yeah, that's a bit of a, both of those have got compromises I don't know if I'm prepared to make. The Ricoh have, you know, got quite a few compact cameras that look quite interesting. So yeah, if you've got any recommendations that you think might work well for my sort of scouting or little in the countryside wanders, please do let me know. I really do value your opinion. I'll always read the comments, and you know, I can't get back to every single comment, but I do try to get back to as many as possible. But I read them all. I really enjoy, you know, seeing what you guys have been up to. It's so inspiring, and it keeps me wanting to make more videos. It really is what keeps me going. So yeah, big thanks really to everybody that watches, comments, likes, subscribes to these videos. You know, it really does mean the world to me, and to be able to do this full time and continue to do it, yeah, just speechless, guys, really. God, I'm having a bit of a moment. Right, pull yourself together, Worth. So I've been walking for about an hour and a half since I last spoke to you, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the walk, but I haven't actually found anything else to shoot. And the light levels are dropping rapidly right now as we approach sunset. Lots of heavy clouds. So yeah, it's going to scupper our chances of getting another image, I think, today, but I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed my ramblings today. Please do comment below. Let me know what you think. As always, I really do appreciate your time. What a day. So good to be out in the woodland. Absolutely love it. Anyway guys, I do hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please consider giving it a like, subscribing for more content like this. The link up the top there will take you to another video. The link over here will take you to my ebook all about landscape photography composition. Anyway, thanks a lot, and I'll see you again next week.